Hi students, a very pleasant and warm greetings to you all. Hope you all are doing good. And we have two more topics in Adobe PageMaker chapter. We'll just finish it soon and we'll move to the next chapter. We'll get into the lesson now. We have seen about creating a page and saving, opening and about the tools of Adobe PageMaker. Now we are going to see about magnifying and reducing with the zoom tool. Okay, we have seen the zoom tool previously. Using the zoom tool, how we can magnify the page. Let's see that. First we have to select the zoom tool and then we have to draw a marquee or draw a box around the space which you have to magnify. Okay, and then to zoom in we have to press the control key and space bar. Other than using the zoom tool, we can zoom by using control key and space bar to zoom in, and to zoom out you have to click control key, alt key along with the space bar to zoom out. Okay, are you clear? And the next one is formatting a document. Here we can give some font size, font style and the positions and everything we can change using this formatting tool. Okay, for that we have to select the text first. Which text we have to format, that text must be selected, and then go to type and character. Okay, in the menu we'll have type character, or the shortcut for it is press Ctrl and T at the same time, and a character specification dialog box will be displayed. Here we have font. By clicking the arrow near that, we can select which font we need, and then we have size, leading, horizontal scale, color, tint, type style, italics, underline, reverse, strike through and so many other options. Using this we can format the text. Okay, after formatting, after giving the specific style, size, and we have to click OK in it. Okay, next one is character formatting using the control panel. By using the control panel we can also change this characters. For that we have to go to window and select the show control palette. Okay, and then control palette appears on the window. Shortcut for this is we have to click the control plus the apostrophe symbol will be there in the keyboard, right? That symbol, that button and control in the keyboard is the shortcut key for getting the character formatting color control panel. Okay, in this palette we'll have the font style. Here they have given Times New Roman, and then the font size, here it is given as 12, right? That is font size. And then tracking details, here they are giving no tracking, and then here baseline, shift, horizontal scale, leading, small caps, underline, italics, bold. These are the character control palette. Okay, these are the tools in the character control palette. And then here we can see a text called Tamil Nadu. Here the size of the font is 60 points and the font style is Arial black and it is underlined. Okay, and we can change a single word also, we can format. See, if you see here you can know that laptop and palm top, this is displayed in blue color and the other things are in black color, right? In this, the third line, rechargeable batteries, that line is given in italics. And in the palm top they are giving the P in normal letters and ALMTOP in small caps. Okay, these are the modified character attributes using character control panel. Okay, next one we are going to change the text color. For that we have to go to Windows and show colors, then the color palette will be there. In some page makers, when you open it itself, we can see the color palette in the right side of the window. If it is not visible, you can just go to window and select show colors, then the color palette will be displayed. Okay, from there we can select the colors. For that also we have to select the text first and then select the colors. Okay, next one is master page. Okay, master page means any text or object that you place on the master page will disappear on the entire document pages to which the master is applied. That means if you have any watermark or if you have any images to be there in all the pages, in some notebooks and all, if you see the page number or not the page number, maybe the date or maybe their company logo will be there in all the pages. Have you seen in classmate notebooks and all, if you see that classmate logo will be there in all the pages. In that case, we don't have to give the logo in all the pages. You can just give that object or the text in this master page so that it will be displayed in all the other pages which is there in that document. Okay. In the lower left corner of the document in this window, if you see, it will be denoted as L and R, right? That L denotes left and the R denotes right. Okay, that is the mark of the master page icon for facing the pages. Okay, if the page is single sided, it will have only the R icon. Here it is L and R. So both the sides of the pages will be typed. Okay. To insert the page numbers, what we have to do is first we have to click on the master pages icon. I have said you that L and R is displayed in the left bottom corner of the page is the master page icon. Okay, we have to click on that and then we have to click the text tool so that the cursor will become I, and then we have to click on the left master page where you want to put the page number first, and then we have to press Ctrl Alt and P, Ctrl Alt P at the same time, and then the page number will be displayed. How it will be displayed means, first when you see, it will be displayed as LM and RM. That means left master page and right master page. Okay, then where you want to put the page number, in that place you click the cursor and then again press Ctrl Alt P. Then the page number will be displayed. Okay, the LM will change into in the next page it will change into RM, that is right master page and left master page. Okay, when we see, it will be shown as LM and RM only, but in the actual pages it will be displayed 1, 2, 3 in that order itself. Okay, next the master items. How will you hide the master items? When you go to view, you can see a ticked box as display master items. If you take that tick, it will be hidden. Okay, now we want to hide it, right? So if you take that tick from the display master items, it will be hidden. To make the master page palette, if it is not found in your window, we have to go to Windows and then select Show Master Pages in the menu bar. Okay, in the menu bar we have Window. Under that menu we have to select Show Master Page, and then the master page palette will be appear. Okay, next we are going to create the master pages. Okay, to create the master page, what we have to do is, by the default, if you see, the PageMaker document will have a master page already created as document master. Okay, sometimes you will have to create one more master page. Okay, if you have the multiple master pages also, if some master pages are having the header and footer or page numbers means also, you can create a new master page, and along with the older ones we can include this also. Okay, to create a new master page, what we have to do is, already we have seen how to get the master page palette, right? And then the master page palette will be shown. In this we have to click on new master page icon. New master page one icon will be there in this end, an arrow. From there we can select new master page, and from here the new master page dialog box appears. Okay, in this dialog box we have to give the name first. We have to give the name, and we can select the margins, that is columns and rows will be given there. There columns and then inside margin, outside margin, top, bottom columns, and space between each lines, everything is as here. Whatever we need we can change those, and then click on OK, and a new master page will be appeared below the master page palette. Okay, next we are going to see about printing a document. Okay, to print we have to go to file and then select print, or the shortcut for printing a document is Control P. Okay, either you have to select print from file or else press Ctrl and P at the same time in the keyboard, and then the print document dialog box will be applied. In this dialog box you have to select the printer first. If you have only one printer, that printer name will be displayed there, or else if you want to print in a different printer, you have to select the printer there by clicking the arrow near the printer's name. Okay, and then the copies means how much copies you need, you have to give the number, and then if all is ticked, then all the pages will be printed. Okay, if you want one page or two page means you have to click on the range and then you have to give the page numbers. Okay, after setting up everything in the dialog box, at last you have to give print. Okay, when you are giving print, the document will go to the printer and we'll get that in a printing sheet. Okay, that's all about this Adobe PageMaker software. We have seen opening a new document, saving, and we have seen the tools. We have seen how to import a picture or how to import a shape, how to import the text inside the picture, how to make a textbook, and we have learned how to place a text inside a shape which we have created, and we have seen how to save, and then at last we saw how to print the page also. Okay, now you would have got the clear idea about this Adobe PageMaker, and that's all in this chapter. We are going to start our third chapter, that is Introduction to Database Management System. Okay, from the word database, what you know? Database is somewhere you store your information or data. Okay, management system in the sense, here in this chapter the management system refers to a set of programs to manage your data. Okay, database management system. Database is the data or information you use, and the management system refers to the set of programs that manage the database. Okay, let's see the definition they have given in your book. A database management system is a system software for creating and managing database. Okay, this provides the users and programmers with a systematic way to create, retrieve and update the data. Understood? Database management is a system software for creating and managing the data. Next, let's see what type of data is stored in a database. Okay, we would be grouping only the related data together and storing them under one group in the name called table. Okay, here what we are going to do is, we'll be creating a database first, then we'll be creating a table. For if you are one class, you are computer application students, means the computer application students is a class, right? So like the class, we are going to create a table. Inside the table, we are going to enter your names and your details one by one, right? So first we need to create a table and then we can enter the data inside the table. Okay. Now we are going to see the evolution of DBMS. Okay, the evolution of database management system. The concept of storing the data started before 40 years. Okay, before 40 years, in the early days, they have used punched cards technology to store the data. Okay, then after that, then the files were stored, which is called as predecessors of database system. Okay, various methods in the file system were used in the olden days. The file system had more limitations also. That means they had some disadvantages also. The disadvantages are data duplication, high maintenance cost, security problems and so on. Data duplication in the sense, same data is used by multiple resources for processing. That means if you have one name, in this name itself many of them will be studying, right? Likewise, if you have one specific data, that data will be used by various
processors. Okay, so that will become many copies will be there, and the spaces also will be occupied by the duplicate copies, right? So data duplication is a disadvantage of this file system, file saving system, right? Next one is, due to this access control and verifying the data consistency, it needs a huge amount of cost. So maintenance cost is high. Okay, and the security also is very less when compared to other systems. Okay, next let's see the concept of DBMS, concept of database management system. Okay, there are few standards that are applicable in all forms of database management systems. Okay, like relational database management system, object database management system, and so on. Let's see the two basic concepts. Okay, first one is acid properties. Acid in the sense, here we'll see the abbreviation for this acid. A for atomicity, C for consistency, and I for isolation, and D for durability. So it is ACID: atomicity, consistency, isolation, and durability. Okay, first let's see what is atomicity. Atomicity means, the word atomicity means it follows the thumb rule, all or nothing. While updating the data in the database for the user, it will perform an updation process. Okay, this updation operation is called the transaction. It will either commit, or it will either successfully update it, or it may fail, or it may abort the process, and this updation will be failure. That is known as what? Atomicity. Okay, next one is consistency. Consistency means it changes in data value to be constant at any time. Okay, in any time the data value will be changing, right? That data value will be constant. Whatever examples or whatever data are given, it won't be changing. It will have a consistency. So there will be no failures. This transaction will be success. Okay, that is consistency. Next one is isolation. Isolation property is needed during the concurrent transaction. That means when multiple users do the transaction, when many users are doing the transaction or accessing the same object at the same time, this transaction is known as concurrent transaction. Concurrent means many of them are approaching same data in the same time. One operation is done by many of them in the same time, means we will say it as concurrent transaction. Okay, to prevent the conflict, that means when many of them are using same net at the same time, there will be conflicts, right? We'll have the network issues. So likewise here also conflict will be there in the database updation process or in the transaction process and all. So this is called as the degree of consistency. Okay, now we have seen the isolation property. Isolation means since this conflict is done, we have to make this isolation process. If a person is updating one data, that must be isolated from the other so that the conflicts won't happen. That is isolation. Okay, next one is durability. Durability is defined as the system's ability to recover all the committed transactions during the failure of storage or system. That means durability. If you take anything, if you take a pen, we'll ask, is it durable? Whether it can resist all the pressure, or how long this can live, how much lifespan does this have? That is durability. Okay, here the durability means full transaction time that this DBMS must resist, and the transaction, either the transaction is successful or failure, the storage and the system storage space will be there. Now in that place the data must be stored. The data should not be lost. The data must be stored even if the transaction is successful or failed. Okay, Then next one is concurrency control and locking. It is the database management systems technique which is used for sharing the data. Okay, when the same data is shared by many users, proper access control is needed. So what we will do is the application data items will be arranged in the order in the priority ways. Which came first will be sent first, and the next one. So we'll have a order by having a controlled, and then it is controlled by locking an order to it. That is concurrency control and locking. Okay, next one is DBMS database model. Here we have hierarchical database model, network database model, relational model, and object oriented database model. Okay, let's see them in detail. First one is hierarchical database model. The famous hierarchical database model was the information management system, that is IMS. Okay, in this model, each record has the information in parent-child relationship like a tree in structure. Okay, when you see this diagram, you can understand. Here we have company, and then it is like a parent, right? Company has the children, users, machines, devices, and applications. And again, user has marketing and personnel. And in the same way, machines also has three branches. So, and the device also has next one are the objects, and the top one, the parent thing, that things are known as containers, and they have the objects, right? In this model, we have many advantages like less redundant data, efficient search, data integrity, and security. In this model, we have some disadvantages also. It is very complex to implement. It is difficult in handling since it has many relationships, right? Many to many relationships are there, so it is hard to handle. And the next one is network model. Network model is first developed. Network model is IDS. It is integrated data store at Honeywell. Okay, this network data model is developed in IDS. It is integrated data store at Honeywell. This is similar to the hierarchical, except that in this model, each member can have more than one owner. Okay, the many to many relationships are handled in a better way. In this model, if you see this diagram, there are ABC college, then department A and college library, and again this student has two parents. Can you see that? Department A and college library gives to one joins to one link as student. Okay, here we have network schema, sub schema, and language. Schema defines all about the structure of the database. Okay, and the sub network schema means the schema defines about the structure of the database. Networking means the structure, right? Then the next one is sub schema, that controls on views of the database of the user. User will have a view on the database, right? We will have a view on everything, how this must work, how we have to do the process. That one is sub schema. And the next one is language. Language is the basic procedural for accessing the database. Okay, we will have a basic procedure to access a database, that is known as language. In the other softwares also, if you see the C++, Java, PHP, Python, everything we'll say it as a language. It has a set of instructions or the programs to run to do a task, right? So the basic procedure for accessing the database is called the language. Okay, the advantage of this model is ability to handle more relationship types easily. Okay, it is easy access. And the next one is data integrity, and the next is independence. Okay, and we have some disadvantages for this model also. The disadvantages are the design is little difficult and the maintenance is also difficult. Okay, so these are the disadvantage of network model. Next, we are going to see a relational model. Okay, relational model. Some of the relational models are Oracle, DB2 are in use. Okay, this is defined by two terminologies, that is instance and schema. Okay, just see this relational database model and you will get a knowledge about instance and schema. Instance means a table which consists of rows and columns. Here if you see, we have 3 columns and in each column has first row is member row, next one id, next that is row, right? So specifies the structure including the name and type of each column, that is schema, and the table which consists of the rows and columns is instance. Okay, the table is called as a relation also. A relation consists of unique column and rows. We'll say the columns as attributes and rows as tuples. Okay, table can be said as a relation and columns are said as attributes and rows we'll say it as tuples. Okay, and the next one we are going to see object oriented database model. Okay, this model is a combination of object oriented programming and also the database technologies. Here object oriented database model, right? It is a combination of object oriented programming concept and also the database technologies. Okay, from the name itself we can write the definition of this. This model serves as the base of the relational model. Okay, this object oriented database model is the base of the relational model. This model is use only small reusable softwares which are called as objects. Okay, objects is a small object, right? This softwares can be reusable also, and this is stored in object oriented database. Okay, this model efficiently manages large number of data types. Okay, in the previous database management system and all, it is not efficient to manage this large type, and this object oriented programming object oriented database can manage large number of different types of data in this model. Okay, the complex behaviors are handled efficiently in this object oriented database model. Okay, when you see this model itself, when you see this diagram itself, you can get a knowledge about it is so complicated, right? It has so many branches, it has so many networks and so many objects in it. So this is a this has complex behaviors. Okay, next and the last one is relational database management system. Okay, and the last topic we are going to see today is relational database management system. Let's see the concept of this. Any database which has logical organization based on the relational data model, it is known as relational database. Okay, any database whose logical organization is based on the relational model, we'll say it as relational database. Okay, a database which manages the relational database is known as relational database management system. From the name itself you can say a database management system that manages a relational database is known as relational database management system. Okay, this is basic for SQL for all the modern data types like MySQL and Oracle, Microsoft Access and everything. Okay, this basic relational database management system, this concept includes database, tables, tuples. Tuples means, as I said before, tuples is rows, and attributes. Attribute is column, schema, and then key. Okay, and these all we'll discuss in RDMS jargons. Okay, this relational database management system jargons. Here we have first one is database. Okay, the most popular relational database is MySQL. Okay, it is a open space SQL database that means it is a open space database. Open space database management system means it supports for any kind of OS. We'll have Windows operating system. If you have Linux or if you have Apple means if you have Mac also, in any operating systems, this we can use this database management system. So the database, this SQL is a open source database for any type of operating system. Okay, the other relational database available are Oracle, MS SQL Server and MS Access. Okay, the features of this relational database management system are high availability, high performance, robust transaction and support, ease of management, less cost. From the words itself, you would have got the idea. It is available very easily, and the performance is also high. Okay, the transaction and support has a robust. Okay, robust means what? Robust means strong. The transaction and the support is very strong, or you can say it as healthy transaction. You don't have to worry about the transaction or the support. It is so strong. And the management is also easy. We can easily manage the database. And then the next one is less cost. It won't cost so much as like some other softwares. Okay. Next one is table. In this relational database model, this table will be defined as a collection of data organized in a, if you see this diagram, from this diagram itself, you can understand this table has some rows and columns, right? It is a simple representation. Table means, as I said before, table is a relations, okay? The true relations cannot have duplicate rows. Understood? Here in this table, if you see, you can see the name is Alex and the age is given as 26 and the salary is 22,000. The same name or the same thing can't come in another row. So, this table is a simple representation of relations, and the true relations cannot have duplicate rows. Okay, next one is column. Column means in the table we saw, table will have several rows and columns, right? The table can be divided into smaller parts in terms of columns. Each column as I said before, column is attributes. Okay, here in this table itself, if you see, you will get an idea. See this ID, this is a column. Name is a column. Age is a column. Salary, this is a column, right? And row means a single entry in a table is called as a row. This row can be said as a record or a tuples also. Understood? See in this table, as I said, ID is a column, name Alex, Divya, this is a column. Row means one row. The first row is ID, name, age, salary. This is the first row. And the second row has the details of Alex. First name is Alex and the age is 26, 22,000 is the salary. This is a row. Okay, have you got the clear idea of this database, column and row? And the table consists of columns and rows. You know what is column and row, and if columns and rows are there, that is a table. Table can be created inside the database. Okay, in this chapter we have seen the definition of DBMS, and then next what we saw type of data stored in the database, right? And then the evolution of database management system, and then the concepts, and then the models. What are the models we saw? Hierarchical database model, network model, relational model, and then the object-oriented database model, right? And then at last we saw relational database management system. In this we saw the concept and the jargons. Jargons had, what all they had? Jargons had database, table, column and row. And about the key, we'll see in the next class. Okay?
Make sure you read the portions on that day itself and take a note and write all the headings in that chapter and write notes in your note. Make sure that you read on that day itself before attending the next session, okay? So that it will be useful when you are going for the public exam, okay? That's all for today. Hope you have got some idea about the database management system, and we'll continue the rest in the next session. Thank you for your valuable time. Stay home, stay safe, take care.